Welcome back, IGN Live at Comic-Con. I'm Max Scoville. Joining me, Jim Vivoda and Scott Kalura, a couple of IGN's guys who get the news and stuff about movies and things. I was trying to think of like a good euphemism for reporters, but
IGN's best and brightest.
Best and brightest.
Yes.
A couple of bright-eyed youngsters on the beat. We got a huge piece of news. We got a really exciting piece. I think this is the first thing I've heard at Comic-Con that makes my ears perk right up. Tell us about this news.
All right. So, Deadline is reporting, and they're a big reputable outlet, that Ben Afleck will team with Jeff Johns, who will co-write with Jeff Johns, star in and direct a standalone Batman movie. A standalone Batman movie. Let that sink in for a minute.
Totally. Yes, completely.
Yes,
I'm so on board with that. That sounds awesome.
So we had heard about this. I mean, we'd heard rumors for probably at least a year.
Yeah.
That this could maybe happen. And
just recently too, there were some more.
Just recently,
resurfaced,
So, and obviously, Batman is like the marquee character for DC. So how could they not? I mean,
Right.
But the fact that Affleck is directing it and co-writing it is really interesting.
It really is awesome. And also it makes you wonder: will they bring in Jared Leto's Joker from Suicide Squad? And Harley Quinn, like, will it be, or are they going to go, there's also Killer Croc, too, like, so how much of the Suicide Squad villains, because there's so many Bat villains in that movie, might show up in this standalone Batman movie? What will the story be? I'm pretty sure, the fact that BVS is starting with an older Batman coming out of retirement, basically like Dark Knight Returns, will this be a prequel, like years before when he was still, or will it take place after BVS?
I'm really open to whatever. I think that people have that kind of knee-jerk reaction to hearing Ben Affleck doing anything because we still have that Ben Affleck Jennifer Lopez thing. We have that Gigli era stuff in our mind. We we think Jersey Girl, but like the dude also did Gone Girl, which was badass. Like
he did direct Argo, which won Best Picture, and he did The Town. So I think Ben's out of the doghouse now.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say the idea of the prequel is really intriguing because we've heard hints that possibly there'll be references to a dead Robin or something in Suicide Squad. So maybe we would get that backstory in a film like this.
Yeah. Maybe they'll do kind of like a version of Death in the Family. You know? That'd be kind of intense. And you could see like Leto's Joker being the guy that would beat him for good.
And there's such a rich well of Batman stories in the modern era that they can go to. I mean, Batman has a kid, right, in the comics nowadays?
He's got Damian,
Yeah, so, Damian Wayne, another Robin, you could get into that whole aspect.
How do you approach that, though, without completely, like, I mean, there are the people who are following the comics closely, every little twist and turn in development, and then there's people who just kind of want, like, the movie going public, the general kind of, like, where's Batman? He's going to fight the Joker, right? Bring out the Joker. Let's see this, I
think you can make it work as long as it's a good movie, right? We've seen so many movies where it's just the same Batman who never advances in the old, the Tim Burton, Joel Schumacher era, right? It was like he got the girlfriend by the end of each movie who was then gone by the next movie.
Right.
So I think Marvel Studios has helped in a big way where audiences are able to latch on to more continuity. I think we can make it work.
Yeah. This is definitely the first thing I think that makes me I think I really have a lot more faith in the DC cinematic universe hearing this announcement because I mean Affleck's a big fan. Like he's always you see him.
Well, I mean it's also like
with Kevin Smith.
He does because he is such an acclaimed director.
I'm sorry. Also, I meant to say Gone Baby Gone, not
Baby
Gone
Gone,
Girl.
yeah.
He was in
He
Gone
was
Girl.
in Gone Girl.
I don't want to sound like a Ben Affleck casual or anything.
You're still holding Bennifer against him. That's what it is.
I do wonder, does this mean we'll get Casey Affleck as Robin? Or Matt Damon?
Okay, that would probably put him back in the doghouse.
Start roping in his A-lister buddies to be in these movies,
And of course, but now it's a shared universe, a standalone Batman movie probably is going to have some other hero show up at some point. So
maybe Green Arrow, maybe the new, the movie version of Green Arrow, Sorry, ML. But no, I think the thing that most excites me about this is that it's going to be the possibilities for telling the story of an older Batman and sort of, if it does take place after BVS, like now you're back in the game. You've set it out this long. You've locked horns with the Man of Steel. will you, who is this guy now? What is Batman like now after walking away from it for all these years, you know, and living in adventures in an entirely new world, a world where there are super beings, you know?
Yeah.
How does that change him?
And that's an aspect we haven't really seen in the previous Batman films.
Yeah.
There's always the Nolan movies, it was more of a real-world setting, and the 1989 and 90
that was unpaved territory then. We hadn't really seen superhero movies. We have a lot of questions. We haven't really seen what we're looking at. You guys at home have a lot of questions too. We have one from Twitter. Let's take a look right now. Robert Peterson. Villain? Question mark?
Oh, wow.
That's a good question. You just hit on this, actually. Nolan had a very grounded approach. It was kind of giving like...
So we see in Suicide Squad, this new DC cinematic universe is willing to go deep with the villains and go out there. I mean, Killer Croc, is a human crocodile, right? So, so who would it be? I mean, I kind of would like to see someone new who we haven't seen before.
I'm gonna do my fan casting here. This actor Eddie Marson, who was in. He's on what is it? Jonathan Strange and Dr. No, or whatever that is. I want him to play Penguin.
Oh yeah.
And I want the kind of gangster Penguin. The crime boss, sort of the Al Capone, Untouchables version of Penguin.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah. You could get Talia al Ghul, right? Who's Damian Wayne's mother.
Yeah.
That's
you
possible.
really want the Damian Wayne story in there.
I really do.
I think that would be interesting, though.
Fun
Give
for the whole
Batman
Bat family. Yeah.
Yes.
I want the whole movie to be kind of presented in real time, and I want it with the Clock King. I want it it'd be like 24, but
it's
it would be
like Phone Booth
2.5 hours.
Cellular, one of those movies.
It takes him like an hour to put the bat suit on.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be grounded in some ways, and
the whole movie
be
about Alfred doing his chores around Wayne Manor and going up the stairs with his tray of tea and getting everything prepped.
I love this. That's the kind of like the later realization is this probably means we're also gonna get a new Alfred.
Well, Jeremy Irons is playing Alfred in Batman.
That's true. So, you're totally right.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting these.
So,
too many superheroes.
Awesome.
I'm sorry.
I know. There's so many new characters to look forward to, and hopefully this weekend at the Warner Brothers panel, they will confirm this news and maybe give us some more details on it. Maybe say who the villain will be.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't it seem like a no-brainer? If you got Jared Leto as your Joker and you've got Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, you're gonna put them in your Batman movie.
It seems like a pretty safe bet there.
Even if it's like in a James Bond movie where you open in a prologue and they're fighting somebody else, and then you go to a different.
Which the Avengers Age of Ultron kind of did. The prologue was sort of a Bond.
We're still waiting to see Suicide Squad and BVS, and I love it. We're already chomping at the bit for the next thing after that. You guys can follow all along these fun announcements and the cool interviews we're doing at Comic-Con right here, so stay tuned.
IGN Live at Comic-Con is presented by the all-new LG G4. See the great, feel the great. And Marvel's Ant-Man, in theaters July 17th.